This prisoner decides to take revenge on his lawyer by doing terrible things to his wife and daughter. The movie begins with a man named Katie exercising in prison. In his cell, there are several law books. A guard escorts him out of prison as he has completed his sentence after serving 14 years. Then, we meet Sam, a financial lawyer who lives with his wife Lee and their daughter Danny, along with their beloved pet. That night, the family goes to the movies, and in the theater, they encounter Katie, who is sitting a few rows ahead of them, laughing disturbingly and smoking. Sam asks him to stop, but Katie ignores him. This makes the family uncomfortable, and they decide to change seats. After the movie, the family goes out for ice cream, and when Sam goes to pay, he is surprised to find that someone has already covered the bill. Looking around, he realizes it was Katie, who is watching them from his car. The next day, Sam meets a colleague from work, with whom he is having an affair. Later, when he tries to leave, Katie appears, takes his car keys, and asks if he remembers him. Sam pretends not to know who he is, but Katie reminds him that he spent 14 years in prison and that Sam was his lawyer. Katie mentions that this is just a coincidence, as they live in a small town, and before leaving, he whispers that soon Sam will know what it means to lose something valuable. That night, Sam's wife Lee wakes up after hearing a noise. She sees someone sitting on one of the walls of their property, but due to the distance, she can't tell who it is. She wakes Sam, but when they go out to check, the person is already gone. Sam knows it was Katie, but he tells his wife that it was a prisoner he represented 14 years ago, though he lies, saying the man was only imprisoned for a fight, leaving out the important details. The next day, Sam warns his wife to be on the lookout for anything strange that might happen. Then, he tells one of his partners that Katie is stalking him and seeking revenge. Here, Sam reveals that 14 years ago, he was Katie's lawyer when he was arrested for beating and abusing a 16-year-old girl. Sam had received a report stating that the girl had a history of inappropriate behavior with several men, which could have reduced Katie's sentence, but Sam chose to withhold it. His partner is shocked by this revelation, but Sam justifies his decision, remembering the state the girl was in after Katie's attack. Later, while Sam is walking down the street, Katie approaches him in his car. Sam confronts him, saying he defended him the best he could, but Katie responds that during his 14 years in prison, he learned about law as much as a lawyer. Sam offers him money to leave them alone, but Katie mocks the offer, revealing that in prison he was abused by other inmates, his wife left him, and his daughter was raised believing he didn't exist, completely destroying his life. The next day, Sam receives a call from his wife, who tells him their dog has suddenly become ill. A veterinarian confirms it was poisoned, and Sam immediately suspects Katie, starting a case against him. However, with insufficient evidence, the police release Katie. Later, Katie meets Lori, the colleague Sam was having an affair with, at a bar. He gains Lori's trust, and she, drunk, ends up going home with him. Katie severely injures her, and when Sam finds out, he is shocked to discover the victim is Lori. Sam asks her to report Katie, but she refuses, fearing that her affair with Sam will come to light and ruin her professional reputation. Sam, growing increasingly paranoid, takes extreme measures to protect his family, locking all the doors and windows of their home. At the same time, he hires a private detective to keep an eye on Katie. During an argument with his wife, Lee confronts Sam about his infidelity, and Sam explains that it's all part of Katie's plan to destroy his life. The detective follows Katie's movements, and in a coffee shop, he confronts him, telling him to leave town, but Katie refuses. The next day, while Lee is picking up the mail, Katie approaches her and hands her their dog's collar, implying that Sam neglected it because she was paying too much attention to the animal. Katie introduces himself and tells Lee that they've both been betrayed by the same person. Danny, Sam's daughter, comes out at that moment, and Lee quickly sends her back into the house, while Katie leaves. That night, Danny receives a call from Katie, who pretends to be her drama teacher, asking her to meet the next day at the auditorium. When she arrives, Danny realizes the person waiting for her is not her teacher, but the man who has been tormenting her family. Surprised, Danny asks Katie if he poisoned their dog, but Katie vehemently denies it. He then reminds her that her mother punished her in the basement when they found illegal substances, and that her father took away her driver's license. Innocent and confused, Danny falls for Katie's charms as he slowly approaches and kisses her. Stunned by what just happened, Danny runs out of the auditorium. When Sam comes home, he discovers that his daughter has been caught with illegal substances again and suspects that Katie was the one who provided them. Confronting her, he asks how she got them, but Danny remains silent. When her father asks if Katie touched her, Danny only smiles flirtatiously, further enraging Sam. However, he later apologizes. Sam meets with the private detective he hired, and the detective suggests hiring some men to give Katie a beating. At first, Sam, as a lawyer, hesitates at this option, fearing legal trouble. But with Katie's constant harassment, he finally agrees to do it. That night, 3 men try to attack Katie, but after learning how to defend himself in prison, Katie fights them off and defeats them. Suspecting that Sam is behind it, Katie challenges him to come out of hiding, but Sam doesn't respond. Sam's plan fails, and to make matters worse, Katie opens a case against him. Sam tries to defend himself, but he learns that Katie has already hired the best criminal lawyer in town, whom Sam had also planned to use. In court, Katie presents a recording of Sam threatening him, putting the lawyer in a difficult position. The judge rules against Sam, invalidating his case against Katie and revoking his law license. Desperate, Sam meets with the detective again, who tells him that his only option now is to lure Katie to his home and kill him there, where Sam could claim self-defense. They devise a plan to make Katie believe Sam is out of town on business. At the airport, Katie questions the receptionist, who, after hearing a convincing lie, tells him that Sam will return in 2 days. Meanwhile, Sam and his family secretly return to their home, where the detective is already waiting for them, ready to confront Katie. The plan is to kill him and claim it was in self-defense. The next night, while the detective is keeping watch, Katie sneaks into the house disguised in the housekeeper's clothes, whom he has already eliminated. He surprises the detective in the kitchen and kills him. Shortly after, Sam and his family discover what happened. Terrified, they flee to a floating cabin Sam owns, thinking they will be safe there, unaware that Katie has followed them. As they sail in their boat, Katie rents another boat and follows them. During the night, a storm shakes Sam's boat, and when he goes to investigate, Katie attacks him, leaving him lying on the deck. Katie boards the boat, locks Danny in a closet, and handcuffs Lee, Sam's wife. He then brings Sam back and beats him repeatedly, while Sam pleads for him not to harm his family. Katie, relaxed, lights a cigarette, giving Danny the chance to spray him with a flammable product she finds in the closet. Katie catches fire and, in desperation, jumps off the boat into the water. The storm worsens, and the boat begins to move uncontrollably. Sam tries to take control of the wheel, but Katie manages to climb back onto the boat, aiming a gun at Sam. As he faces him, Katie asks if he knew the young girl he attacked had a history with other men, to which Sam initially denies. However, when Katie beats him, Sam confesses that he knew, enraging Katie even more, who says that information could have freed him from his sentence. Katie beats Sam until he admits the truth. He then forces Lee and Danny to undress, but just as he's about to handcuff Sam, the boat moves abruptly, separating them. Sam takes the moment to signal his wife and daughter to jump into the water. When he's about to do the same, Katie grabs him by the leg. The boat crashes into a tree, separating them once again. Katie searches for Sam with his gun, but Sam handcuffs him to the boat. Sam jumps into the water just before the boat crashes into a rock and is destroyed. He manages to swim to shore with his family. As the boat sinks, it drags Katie down with it, bringing an end to his revenge. And so, the movie ends.